One. Can you say perfect match? That means you have another way to get with your favorite show. Join me and my co-hosts, by co-hosts I mean my fabulous studio audience, every weeknight for the latest scoop on celebrities, all things entertainment, the food, the fashion, the fun. Join me for the Wendy Williams Show, tonight at midnight, 11 Central on TV One.
Can y'all hear that?
Protect my car. Restrictions may apply. Claims and cost for coverage may vary. Call for details. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 1999 or higher, you could stop paying for car repairs. That's right, you might not have to pay a penny to have it repaired. Just call 800-901-8561 now to see if you qualify. You must have an automobile made from 1999 or higher, and all repairs for your engine, transmission, and much more can become a thing of the past. Call 800-831-6190 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. That's right, total protection for your car and no more repair bills. Plus, call 800-831-6190 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Just call 800-831-6190 now to see if your car qualifies. That's 800-831-6190. Never pay for car repairs again. Just call 800-831-6190. 800-831-6190.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
In 2017, our daughter Angelica Hale remarkably sang her way to the finals.
But the real miracle is that she even made it to the stage. When she was 4, she survived sepsis.
When it comes to sepsis, remember, it's about time. Watch for T, temperature that's abnormal. I, signs of an infection. M, mental decline. E, feeling extremely ill.
Take the time now to learn more at sepsis.org.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ-FM HD3 Baltimore, an Urban One radio station, minority controlled, and operating and serving the African American community for over 40 years.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
All right.
Taxi Talk Radio. This is your Taxi Talk Radio. This is your Taxi Talk Radio. Starring Mary the
Taxi driver.
Starring Mary the
Taxi driver.
Larry the celebrity driver. Larry the celebrity driver.
Yeah, I'm in the studio, folks. I am in the building, and it's so good. It's an honor to be here at Radio 1 Baltimore and all over the world. Yeah, and I like to give my main strap of my main man, my engineer, a big old shout out. Engineer, what's your name? Who? What you do, man? You like a music man? You sing? What are you? Oh my goodness, you the man. You is the master plan here at Radio 1. So let's get my main strap, my engineer, Fats a round of applause. A good old shout out right here live here with me on Radio 1. Thank you, partner. All right. So, folks, once again, we're going to have a dynamic show. I mean, look, it feels so good to be here in the building, y'all. So let's give everybody a round of applause all over the world. Thank everybody. If you can't hear me on the radio, you can go to www.wolbbaltimore.com. That's right. And check this out. It's a long distance number too. Oh, that long distance number. I think it's let me see if I can remember. Let me see. I think I remember, y'all, just in case if y'all don't have a cell phone, you get, what's that long distance number? Oh, let me see. There's a long distance number somewhere. But don't worry about it. You call a local number. 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. And don't forget, we stream the World Wide Web. www.wolbbaltimore.com. All right? And on the dial, 1010 AM WOLB. Same station Larry Young is on. Senator Larry Young, the home of the Larry Young Morning Show. So we like to give Larry a round of applause and thank Larry Young, LY. That's what everybody know. You know, how he doing, and he doing pretty good. We pray. Our prayers is up for him. So, you know, Larry Young, Senator, is strong. So let's not hold our special guests on, and we're going to bring our special guest on, J. Wendell Gordon. J. Wendell Gordon is here. I got a new system, so let me, I think I'm going to do it right. If I hit number 2.
There you go.
J. Wendell.
What's up with you?
Okay, you know, this is my first day back in the studio.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. Good to be back on Taxi Talk, too.
Thank
Taxi
you.
Talk Radio.
Yeah, my son sang that.
Huh?
Yeah, my son, Daryl Eastland, he sang the whole song.
My goodness. He got your theme song. He got you ready to go.
Yes, sir. He got me.
That unique sound.
The unique sound.
The celebrity soundtrack.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, Jay, you know, you are the Warrior Lawyer. So, folks, I want everybody to know, who is the Warrior Lawyer? And
Gordon.
Tell us how you got that name, the Warrior Lawyer.
Man, that thing goes back to 1995, man.
95?
1995, man.
Wow, 95, y'all.
Some things. That's how long I've been practicing law, since 1995.
And you know what? I was going to ask you that.
Mm-hmm.
So you started in 95?
Yeah. And it doesn't even seem that long ago, but when you think about it, you're like, dang, that was long ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The years like just drop on by, man. But I'm so happy to be out here. I'm so happy to be providing this service to my community, and in my community just wrapping their support around me when I'm in some of these big fights. So I appreciate you all, you know, and I try to keep you all informed in what I'm doing, you know, as often as I can. Sometimes there's just little fights, and you're not really interested in those. But the big fights, yeah.
What you mean?
You know, you go to court for a bag of dope or something like that. Somebody getting in a fight with their boyfriend or girlfriend, that sort of thing. That's little stuff.
Okay.
The big stuff is when the police out here running amok, killing our people, beating our people, you know, maiming our people. That's big stuff.
Right.
So that's what I'm on your show to talk about, the big stuff.
Yeah, y'all. So this is the big time. We're going to talk about what really goes on where? Baltimore County?
Baltimore County. Let's talk about Baltimore County, because you know what? They like to put the focus on Baltimore City, and Baltimore County gets away with murder.
You know that. They don't like to say nothing about Baltimore County.
With murder, you know what I mean? And you know, they beat up our city every day on Fox 40, on these other stations, you know what I mean?
Right.
What's going on?
I'm glad you caught yourself.
It's abominable. Yeah.
So yeah. But you know,
I should have said Fox. I should have said Rat 45.
Right. Well, so yeah, so we're going to talk about what really goes on. You know, you can't even ride being Al Color in this Baltimore County without getting pulled over. You know, I've been a cab driver for 21 years, so I see what y'all don't see, and that's the truth.
Right.
It's more us getting pulled over.
58%.
Oh, you got
58%. We got a 58% chance of getting pulled over and arrested. That's what that statistic says. 58% chance.
They get us out
Whereas
the
whites
car.
have 31% chance. We make up 30% of the population in Baltimore County. They make up 60% of the population in Baltimore County.
They put us out in the car, sit on the curb, and then you see the other race in the car. So, you know, I see all that.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point that you make out, because when I talk about this stuff, you know, people think that, you know, police brutality only consists of somebody dying or being badly hurt. But it also, you know, there's also police misconduct. There's what you call it, use of profanity, you know, unprofessionalism, like sitting you on the curb when it's raining outside, you know, all this stuff.
Oh, man.
You know, and you know, police misconduct is one of the most underreported events that I can think of, because people are just afraid. They don't know what to do when they encounter the police, and when the police do wrong, you know, they're scared. They have to deal with the criminal charges that may arise from it. So there are a lot of considerations people have to take into account before. Hear my alarm going off?
Oh yeah,
that's the snooze on it.
That's the snooze.
The original alarm went off. So there are a lot of considerations people have to take into account, or they seem to take into account before they decide they want to hold a police officer responsible for his misconduct. But we got to get away from that. Baltimore County is very unsafe for African Americans when it comes to police. In fact, it's becoming unsafe when it comes to crime too. I mean, you have to be afraid of the cops and the robbers out in Baltimore County, because the police are off the chain. Crime is rising at an unmanageable rate, and all that falls on the shoulders of the county executive, Johnny O, and Scott Schallenberger, the county state's attorney. So we want to put the focus on them, since they like to focus on the city so much, as if they're doing everything right in the county, when in fact they're doing everything wrong. They have a serious race problem in Baltimore County, and it starts from the top and it trickles all the way down. And they like to use the window dressing by making an appointment here and an appointment there. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you know, the old Wizard of Oz is still directing traffic. You know what I mean? Directing what's going on. So they'll prop up their police reform bill and all their police reforms that they generated in that county. However, the police are still stopping African American drivers at a 58% rate higher than everybody else. So, you know, it's a problem.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they don't
I don't think they really care about it. And, you know, just to talk about Corinne Gaines is Exhibit A as to how much they care about the humanity and the dignity of African Americans. Corinne Gaines is a 23-year-old black woman, mother of two, who was shot and killed in her apartment by Corporal Royce Ruby on August 1st, 2016. And this August 1st, just 30 days from now, will mark the 5-year anniversary of her death. Royce Ruby has continued with his life in anonymity. After killing her, he continued to work for the Baltimore County Police Department without suffering any discipline nor criminal prosecution. He since left that department, and I believe, I don't have any confirmation of this, I do know he's still working for the state, but I believe he may be still exercising his police powers in another jurisdiction, which is what some of the police reform laws were put in place to address under Adrian Jones's police reform bill that passed the session this year. But I believe that Royce Ruby, from what I understand, left the department shortly before that bill passed so that he could benefit, so that he wouldn't have to suffer under it. So there's a lot of stuff going on these days, but the bottom line is we have to continue to fight these fights, Larry.
Right.
We got to stay vigilant, man.
We have to, man. And we have to expose them.
Right. We have to expose them. We have to put our foot in their arses and mash the garces. You know what I mean?
Say that again. Put the foot in the.
Put your foot in there and mash the gas. That's what we got to do. We got to keep the gas mashed on them, because anytime you let up, we get situations like we're in right now, where there's just the utter just lack of recognition of the humanity and the souls of African Americans, and that's what that Corinne Gaines fight is about. It's about the dignity of African Americans, because if it happened to her, it can happen to anyone.
Yes.
And the thing that should be so outrageous, the thing that everyone should be outraged about, is these officers have yet to be held accountable, not only from Johnny O's administration, but from Scott Schellenberger's administration, the Baltimore County executive. So we just got to stay on it, and Johnny O will be the first to tell you he inherited the case. So solve it. You know what I mean? If you say you inherited it, anybody who wants to be, a county executive is going to inherit some problems from the past administration. Right. Your job as a leader is to resolve those issues. Exactly. Why are you carrying those issues for the next county executive? So these are your issues. They fall squarely within your feet. You have the power to resolve all of these issues with the stroke of a pen, and it takes nothing more than that. But you won't do that.
And we're going to talk about it on 1010 AM WRB. And I'm also going to talk about the experience that I had in the courthouse the other day. And, I was sitting where the jurors sit at, the juries. I was sitting there and I was watching the judge and I was watching the people and I was watching the attorneys. So I'm going to let y'all know the experience in a minute after these messages from one of our sponsors, the experience that I had in the courtroom. A couple days ago.
About it.
Yeah, I did have some. It wasn't good experience. It was seemed like the judge was trying to, cover up his wrong, and the courts of appeal said what to do right, and the judge still trying to find fault how to hold on to the money. Why didn't they release the money? So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna bring up one of the sponsors, and I'm lucky, man, Jay Wendell, and bring up our sponsor, Manuel. How you doing, Manuel?
How you doing, Larry Wallace? Taxi Talk Radio.
And guess who's on the line with us? Jay Wendell Gordon, man, the warrior lawyer.
Yeah. I was listening.
Oh my goodness, everybody know him.
Yeah, so, I know him too.
Yeah. So tell us.
Warrior lawyer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so,
there you go. That's it.
If you don't know now, you know.
There you go. So Ringo, tell us what you're doing with your company and what's going on with it.
Well, we Pure Hearts for Others is our organization, and what we do right now, one of the projects that we're working on is that we feeding the homeless down 421 Falls Way. We sit in the RV and we feed them all night long, and it's like a buffet. Like they knock on the door all night long, and in the morning we give them breakfast also to like 12 in the afternoon. And we've been doing that for about a year, and we got some other projects that we're working on down there on 421 Falls Way in the RV. You've been down there before, right, Larry?
Yeah, I even stayed the night in the RV, and and they depend on you feeding them, man. They so used to you feeding them, and you don't be feeding on any old thing. You be feeding them hot meals at night, hot meals in the morning. I don't know how you do it, man.
Man, it was a vision. I started with you and Christina Flowers, and I did some things with Cherie Rogers, and then next thing you know, a vision came to me. I was like, let's go down there. And, I could do this, feed them in the home. It'd be like all night long. So as they come, they continuously eat over and over again like a buffet. And then in the morning, breakfast. And, it's a great experience not knowing that people down there are hungry and they wanting things to eat. And sometimes they get tired of the bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. Have you heard about that, Larry?
I know about the bologna sandwiches, but you feed hot meals.
Yeah.
I remember when you and I went to New York when DMX, the situation up there, and we was on our way back. You was rushing me to get back to feed the homeless people. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, because one thing's on my mind is trigger is that, listen,
he had me doing 65, 70 miles an hour. They say, man, I got to get back downtown to feed the homeless people.
Because, listen, I put in my mind that, I can't do it all week, but I can dedicate myself to at least one day. Dedicate myself to one day and watch how they'll spread on and get to be bigger than what it is, So I'm just sticking to that Friday and Saturday morning and just keep on doing it, and not miss one day.
So I understand that you're getting ready to fold because you don't have enough support now. How much you can bear by going into your pockets? Is it your pockets getting a hole in it or something, or you need help? What's up? Talk to me.
You know, no matter what you do, you always need things to improve and to make sure that things are, you know, less stress on your pocket. You know, you and stress on pocket. We need people to volunteer, to help, and no matter what you can bring to the table, we would like to have people to bring something to the table to keep this thing moving, that we could continue to stay strong during these years, to continuously feed them.
So tell us your website. How can someone reach out to your company, Pure Heart for Others? How can they, you know, say, hey man, I can help you, I can volunteer something? What's the information?
My phone number is 443-433-2557.
Say it again.
443-433-2557. And also, if you want to support us, you can cash at us at Pure Hearts for Others, $ Pure Hearts for Others, to support us in what we're doing and get this mission, keep this mission going for the rest of this year.
Okay. And what color that heart is? There's a purple heart, pure heart. What does a pure heart mean?
Pure heart. Pure heart is that we care for other people. And guess what? Sometimes people don't believe, but we even care for our enemies. If we can provide...
You care for enemies?
Even our enemies, Larry.
Oh my goodness.
Bless our enemies. You got to bless your enemies.
I'm not blessing no enemies, but that's your company, Pure Heart for Enemies. So...
No. Yeah, let me tell you this. One thing I believe in is that when God bless us, it's our job.
Okay, you put God in it, so now I gotta bless him. Okay, see.
Listen, I believe our strength and everything that we do comes from God. You know, that's what I believe in. Everything, our mindset, everything that we got going on comes from God. And I believe that as God bless us, it's not our job to hold our blessings to ourselves, but to learn how to bless.
You know how to make me pray for my enemies. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have peace.
All right. Okay, Pure Heart for Others. Pure Heart for Others. He prayed for his enemy. He feed his enemies, and he cared for his enemies.
I've done that before. I've had someone that I got into encounter with before, and they wound up being down there, and I was able to feed them and give them food.
Okay. Well, thank you, man, Ringo, and hopefully we will see you soon.
Let me get my number again: 443-433-2557. If you want to support us, it's $ Pure Hearts for Others. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there you go. He prayed for his enemy. He cared for his enemies, and that's wonderful. And when he put God in, look, that touched my heart right there.
You know that man.
I know, but he prayed for your enemies. But we have Mr. Leo Burrow want to say something too, lawyer. Mr. Leo Burrows.
Attorney J. Wendell Gordon and Larry, the celebrity cab driver, and everybody, I bless all of you and love all of you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. We love you too.
I just want to say to Jay Wendell, I've known you for a number of years, and you've always been a straight shooter, and you've always been courageous. But something that happened to you this year, you done exploded. Thank God, you've exploded in ways that I want other young black men and black men in general to explode, because a lot of us are scared, and you're not scared.
Right.
And I'm thinking about Jay Wendell, the Monumental Bar Association, and I don't know who the president is now, but I do know that today, I'm told that today is the birthday of Thurgood Marshall, and that if that being so, that in 1935, the Honorable Justice Attorney Thurgood Marshall was a co-founder, a principal founder of the Monumental Bar Association, and we've got to generate more activism now, not only with the black lawyers, but with these black preachers and ministers of the gospel and others who are laid back and too damn comfortable. So thank God for your activism, and I got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You say what got into me. I'm angry. I'm mad. You know what I mean? We men have to embrace that emotion and stop thinking that that's a dirty word to be angry. No, stuff that's happening in this world will make you angry, and you need to embrace it. You channel that anger into some positive, get into some good trouble, and get into some good fights, and that's what I'm doing.
I sat in at that courtroom also, Larry, and I saw this judge, Mickey Norman. I call him Mickey Mouse. He thought he was running the game, and he was trying to run the game,
right?
Not recusing himself. He's clearly, in my opinion, prejudiced, do the right thing to enhance the position of the white power structure in Baltimore County. So he's upholding the banner of Olszewski, this county executive, and Schellenberger, the state's attorney. They've got a triumvirate of racism that's going on there, and we're going to fight until victory is won.
Mr. Leo Barrow, did you see how when they overturned the Supreme Court or the appeal court of appeal?
So what happened was the judge you saw, Mickey Norman, presided over the case from start to finish, the 3-week trial. And after we had won, the county filed a motion to basically throw out the jury's verdict and dismiss the case. Judge Mickey Norman took an entire year to decide that motion, and almost a year to the day of the verdict, and the verdict was $38 million, almost a year to the day on February 18th of 2019, he overturned that verdict. So we were forced to appeal, and then on July 1st, last year, 2020, the Court of Special Appeals reinstated the verdict and the award. However, they sent it back to the same judge.
How did same judge get it back?
They sent it back to
that
the
was
same
wrong.
judge to decide the damages aspect of the case and whether or not he's going to reduce the damages.
But Judge Norman is clearly obstructing justice. He's doing everything he can not to do the right thing. Let's keep the pressure on him. God bless you, and let me get off the line. I'm sure others are calling.
All right.
What I did appreciate, and it just filled my heart, when I walked into that courtroom and I saw it was packed, that, we're not litigating this case in the dark, that the public takes great interest in this case, the civil rights community takes great interest in this case, the labor community takes great interest in this case, the faith-based community takes great interest in this case. I mean, there were public interests all over that courtroom, and to me, it was very empowering. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you. And I was hearing
this community. I mean, everybody.
I was hearing the judge was like trying to, find fault. What he, try to make up the fault. But the Supreme Court overruled it?
The Court of Special Appeal.
Oh, the Court of Special Appeal, overruled his decision. So if the Court of Special Appeal overruled it, it should be no problem for them doing the right thing.
Well, they can do the right thing with or without a judge. And what bothers me the most is that they need a judge to tell them what is right. Like, if you just have any ounce of decency, this case, now that the jury has made a decision, you shouldn't need a judge to tell you that.
The county should just go ahead and do what he said.
To this family, and this harm has been perpetuated for the last 5 years, and they deserve some compensation for it. Johnny O has failed and refused to acknowledge them.
So the county is that
to acknowledge the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, the heartbreak, all those things that make us human, all those things that make us, people. He fails to acknowledge those things.
So the county is that
he would rather fight for this killer cop. He would rather fight to defend this officer who killed at will.
The county is that
than take care of these children.
Johnny O's
of Corinne Gaines, because like I was saying before, Corinne Gaines is not coming back. She is gone.
Man.
We are fighting for the souls of black people in general, and those children in particular. They have to live the rest of their very long life, because one of the children was 1 year old. She was still nursing on Corinne. The other child was 5 years old. So they have to live the rest of their life without the love and the affection, the advice and guidance of their mother. And one of them, his last memory of his mother is being slain by Royce Ruby with his assault rifle. So, there's a lot of damage that has occurred here. There's a lot of harm that's been done to this family. It completely decimated this family.
I got a question.
Trying to put the pieces together.
Well, can the county exec just like to say we don't need to hear no more court stuff overturned and just award, and then y'all can just go on and do the next process in the case?
The county exec can definitely bring this matter to a close, and then whenever he's ready to reasonably discuss, a resolution, we will be there on the double. But the problem is he hasn't. Now, he claimed that he made an offer to us, and he didn't even make an offer to all of us. He made an offer to some of us, and the offer was so low that it was insulting.
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you the number anyway.
You say
insulting. I don't want to stymie further negotiation, but don't
say
come to us
our
with insulting
county
numbers.
exec did this?
The county exec, Johnny Oak, he sent his lawyers in to do it.
No.
So, and
Well,
I
the
wonder how much
jury already decide what they're going to do.
Exactly.
So just go with the jury decision. Let's go to Diane. Miss Diane, how you doing?
Good afternoon. How you doing? How you doing, Warrior Lawyer?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I couldn't be there the other day because
Okay, you're there.
we had a home inspection. But I just want to say, I'm supporting you, and the family. I wanted to ask you about the children, especially the 5-year-old, because he was there when his mother was killed. And how's he doing? Is he getting counseling and stuff?
I mean, he's doing as well as you could be doing if you were in that situation. So, I don't know the details of how he's doing, but he's not doing well because we're still out here fighting. We're still out here fighting.
Right, and I hope that he has a good support system, around him and everything, and to let him know that it wasn't his fault and it wasn't his mother's fault. It was you had a gun-ho police officer thought that he was a Carrell, out in the West somewhere when he shot his mother, because they could have de-escalated that. And I know that a lot of these things that the police departments across the United States, they need to bring in the mental health counselors. Because people are having crises, even when you don't know that they're having crisis, because they have not been diagnosed. Some people can take a lot of stuff, and some people cannot, and it's a breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point, and when you see that, and then you see them go start shooting, and the same thing for white person, because the guy out there in Dundalk, he had the people hostage for 48 hours. They brought him food and stuff.
Wait a minute, you saying 2 days?
Yeah.
And guess what they did to Corinne? They turned off her air conditioner, turned off her power, and thank goodness she had her cellular phone, and her cellular phone was her eyes. And then when they got tired of her live streaming, they deactivated that, and within minutes, I'm not talking 5, I'm like 1 to 2 minutes, she shot dead.
Oh, man.
In her home.
Remember that, but that's what I was talking about. That guy out in Dundalk, he had people hot, and they had him. They let him do what he wanted to do, and they kept feeding him.
Yep.
They kept feeding him.
Yep.
I mean, they kept going to the restaurant, bringing him food, but he was holding people hostage. He had a gun, and he told them what he was going to do.
And what they do, I didn't follow that case, but what they do with him? Did they shot him?
He came out.
After 2 days.
Yeah, he came out. He's
Wait a minute, hold on.
right now.
Hold up, come.
They didn't kill them?
I don't think. Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. Did he? I can't remember. I don't know if he died or not.
And this was in Baltimore County as well.
He was not treated like he was. Right, and and we as black people, well, they should. Some people will say, well, she should have surrendered. That wasn't the thing about it. You have training. They go to
They need mental health people to come out and talk to these people. They need, people trained to talk to you. Did anybody talk to an attorney?
They had their little negotiators talk to her. They're like hostage negotiators.
Right.
They're not specialists to deal with mental health.
Yeah, they need someone.
Terrible.
And Jay Whitney Gordon, can we as citizens in Maryland have all the police departments in all the counties and Baltimore City to have that on staff? Mental health person. How can we do that?
Well, we have to contact the county exec. We need to contact the county exec, tell him that he has not done enough with police reform.
Okay.
Or they just don't respect his leadership because they're continuing to do, I guess, the opposite of what he would have them do. And there needs to be some more accountability because that's what's missing. You can say you have all the reform you want, but if there's no accountability for these officers, then your all your actions are for naught. So I still want people to call the county executive every day and tell him that, we don't like the way you're handling police reform. We definitely don't like the way you're handling the Corinne Gaines matter, and he needs to resolve the Corinne Gaines matter to have any credibility in the African American community, because that was the most egregious killing that I've seen in a while.
Can I ask a question and I'm gonna let you go? Jay Wendell, how about all the other police departments in the state of Maryland?
In Maryland?
Yeah,
I mean, all of them need to be reformed, but I have to give Senator Adrienne Jones credit because she brought in some sweeping police reform legislation this session, and I believe it's going to make a difference slightly statewide, and now there's more work to do.
Right.
But Johnny O, I mean, with his reforms, if he's not making the avenues of accountability more accessible to those who can hold people accountable, then all the changes he's trying to make in Baltimore County are for naught. And as you can see by that latest article that came out on June 21st, there's a big problem in Baltimore County, and it begins and ends with racial tension and intolerance.
Well, this is my last thing I'm going to say.
You said that before.
Okay, Larry. We as African American people, we have to stick together. We have to
most
get
definitely.
And we're not saying that we don't want no police. We don't want, because this is the rumor that's out. You got white people on other stations, and you got white people in the community saying that black people don't want the police. They want to destroy the police department. We don't. We just
no, we don't. I never heard that. What kind of rumor is that?
That's not you hear it all the time. I don't know. I live in Southeast Baltimore. You hear it all the time on the different radio stations, not this station, but other stations that you listen to. It's like they making us the bad guys that we don't like the police, and that's not true.
Yeah, the problem I have is that when we demand constitutional policing, they feel like that's some form of repression of their ability to do their job. Just to honor the Constitution that they swore to uphold, that represses them from being able to do their job, and that's a narrative that I cannot accept. In fact, it is ludicrous. It's absurd to believe that the only way you can police is by violating people's constitutional rights.
That shouldn't be right.
I don't buy that.
And see, the thing about it, Dr. I'm going to say Dr. Jay Wendell Gordon, but see, they need to give the family, even though money can't bring no one back, but they need to uphold the most what the jurors said, that way, and they can get on top of these police. But if they trying to give people penny ante and this and that, they're going to continue doing what they're doing. They need to hit them in the pockets, give them jail time, and maybe this will stop in Baltimore County.
See, the reason why we continue to get killed in Baltimore County and other places is because it is affordable to kill African Americans, because they hide behind these archaic laws that have caps. And so if you can kill an African American at wholesale prices, what's to stop you from killing them?
Right.
We need to raise the caps.
That's what I'm saying.
The caps on damages. Yeah, I agree with you. We need to raise or eliminate the caps on damages, and there needs to be a means by which to hold these police officers responsible not only for their conduct, but for the financial debt that they cause the county.
Right.
They should have to pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 back to the county when they're found liable for violating someone's constitutional rights, especially when it results in death.
Right.
I mean, because we want you to think before you fire that weapon.
Exactly.
Shoot first, ask questions.
Let's go to Mark. I hear you. 410-481-1010. We got the Warrior Lawyer, Jay Wendell Gordon. Y'all can call in right now. Any questions y'all want to ask him, any concern. Mark, you live with Jay Wendell. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, partner?
All right.
Mr. Gordon, it was an honor, to be there with y'all, man. I still see the pain in that woman's face, and Larry, the thing, for me, and I don't hear this enough, is she never had to die because the mother came to the scene, and she would have signed a waiver or whatever she needed to sign if they would have let her go in and talk to her daughter, and they wouldn't let her do that, and that's not said enough. That young lady could still be alive.
Right.
And it's been said, Mr. Gordon, that Johnny O reached out to
with his attorneys, in an attempt to try to in an attempt to try to resolve some of these issues. But the offers that we're receiving, I mean, we had a $38 million verdict, so the offers that we're receiving is basically paltry. They're paltry offers that that aren't even fit for a peasant. You know what I mean? So if you really want to discuss this case with us, come to the table in good faith. Don't say that you did something so you can put a headline in the paper to make it appear as though you've done all the right things and it's just the plaintiffs are being unreasonable. No, we're being very reasonable, and we will always be reasonable. But at the same time, you have to be coming to the table in good faith and making a bona fide offer that makes sense, and not try to insult this family by adding more insult to the injury that you've already caused.
Thank you, Mark. That's it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you had him on to straighten that out. Larry, we got to hold all these races and road police accountable here in Baltimore. My thing is, man, that we got to do both. Attorney Gordon and Larry, we got to deal with the people in the blue uniforms, and we got to deal with the people in the jeans also, man. If we paying you, you got to be doing your job, man. The meeting that I want to see happen in this city, because the most disturbing thing for me down Fells Point, Larry, was when the officer was looking the other way, and then you had young people on the cars with their middle finger up taking selfies, and then you got...
Wait a minute, hold up. You saying the police were taking selfies?
Yeah, they were on the car. The young people was on the car, down Fells Point with their middle fingers up, taking selfies on the police car. Police was looking the other way. And I talked to Sergeant Boatwright. I talked to him, and Attorney Wendell. The thing is, he said, about all this confusion here in Baltimore City. So, okay, you can talk to Mancuso. So sit down, Mayor, with Boatwright, your state's attorney, and the mayor, state's attorney, commissioner, and Boatwright, and see how we can deal with this lawlessness in Baltimore City, man. Because the mayor went on another station, Larry, and Wendell. Attorney Wendell went on another station. I don't know if y'all heard, and said that the murders are happening because people are going to a block party. Now, when the last time we had a block party in the pandemic? And people are being shot at because they're sleeping with other people's wives, Larry. Man. Can you believe that? You've lost loved ones. I've lost loved ones to this senseless violence, man.
Okay.
We got to deal with homelessness, youth homelessness, and all that stuff.
Due to the time.
I'm glad that we out here and we doing it, man.
Thank you.
And Mr. Gordon and Larry, if y'all want to bring any of our young people to us, we are at the old Oliver Rec on Tuesdays at 5:30, Wednesdays 4 o'clock, and they have manhood training jobs and all that kind of stuff. And anybody can bring their sons to us.
Wow.
Thank you, Mark. Mark C.
Y'all take care, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wanted to say something too.
Go
if
ahead.
I got time.
Sure.
I want to pay tribute to Larry Young.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Larry Young.
Yes.
Was out there.
Yes.
There's never been a person more dedicated.
Come on now.
To human rights, civil rights.
Come on.
Just all around justice than Larry Young. He sacrificed his body on Wednesday.
Yep.
The heat was so stifling that it dropped him. The man got back up. He got into a hospital gurney, was taken to the hospital, and from his hospital bed, he still started swinging.
Yep.
I mean, he's got the guts of Javante Davis.
Yep.
Javante never been knocked down, but he's got dynamite in his right hand and his left. And Larry, he's just the ultimate
man. Larry Young, the man.
Credit to Larry Young for his dedication. I mean, he on reflection, he didn't think it was the wisest thing for him to do, and maybe that may or may not be true, but he is appreciated, and I just
I love Larry Young, man.
Dedication, his devotion to the causes, man.
I am so glad. Larry Young. We talked today, yesterday.
I was scared. I had more than concern. I was scared. scared.
Yes.
When I saw what was going on with him, and it wasn't until he became alert, because he became very alert before they removed him from the scene. He was alert, but he was still, he still needed to be rehydrated.
Right.
So I'm just grateful for him, for his life, and for his dedication to us, to everybody.
Me too. Me too. We talked yesterday, today. I talked to him when the ambulance pulled off and everything. But I think Dwight, is this Attorney Dwight, or your name just Dwight?
This is Dwight Burley Sr. I'm better known as a young politician.
How you doing?
I'm a friend of Dwight Pettis. He's my lawyer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's my lawyer.
I thought you was him, but it's all good. How you doing?
The grandfather, Dwight, I called him.
Yes.
Grandfather.
I'm going to give you some good wisdom and knowledge and conversation in the few minutes that I have. I just want to say thank you, Larry. You are the best that you can be, because you produce information that I don't hear sometimes on other stations. But I'm not here to criticize the stations, because I love all the stations.
Thank you.
You are a winner, and you don't let nobody shoot you down. I've seen people shoot you down and how you came back.
Wow.
Because you don't have hate. You don't have hate in your blood.
Nope.
I've seen that. I'm
Right.
not saying no names or nothing like that, but I've seen how you came back to that person. All right.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
the Lord knows everything, Larry, that's going on. People think they can come out at nighttime and do certain things, and but the Lord sees everything.
Amen.
He sees everything. And I just want to say thank you for providing, making me a better person for knowledge and wisdom, because I'm passing on my wisdom and knowledge to the young people. That's what we got to do. Pass Black history on to the young people.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Right.
You got to pass it on.
Amen.
Because it hasn't been taught in the school, because I asked my daughter has Black history. Do she know about Black history? She said, no, Daddy. So I'm going to leave, so I'm going to give time for somebody else to speak and let you know.
You got to call me, Dwight. I appreciate you.
I'm a friend of Brother Herky. I used to sing in the choir with him.
Amen.
That's my
Maybe you
old
can
church.
come. Maybe you can come and sing next week. You can call and sing next week, man. But call me. My number 443-839-8412. I didn't know no one was watching me. I didn't know I'd be encouraging people.
I heard you interviewing, and then you had to leave. That made you leave talking a lot, which I think that was kind of,
Oh yeah.
We got the right to talk. If we got freedom of speech,
Right.
that was definitely they was violating your right to make to you. But you should have just went on the curb or something.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really property or somewhere else. You can't do that on private property.
Right.
That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. You should have went somewhere else. Even if you had to be part of the street, where people
Right.
park.
I get the second half.
Yeah, because that's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay. The
No,
church
he's not
brother.
my brother, but I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about
know,
brother
Christian
in Christ.
brother. I know. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. But
God bless Brother Herky.
God bless you.
He's listening to you right now. He's he's my best friend.
Oh,
And
thank
God
you.
bless. God bless you, man. Keep
God
on
bless
doing
you.
what you're doing.
Appreciate you.
The Lord knows
Amen.
all about this trouble. He will ask you by and by. I'm gone.
There you go. Thank you. I thought that was Attorney Dwight Pettit, but I need to hear from that brother as well.
Yeah.
And I think this may be Barbara, you live. How you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This
Good.
is Barbara.
Hey,
from
Barbara.
North. Yes, how you doing? This is Barbara from North Baltimore. I too was out there and supporting. The reason why I feel so strongly about what's going on is because I have a 22-year-old granddaughter. I have a 27-year-old grandson, and I feel like this is everybody's fight. I feel like it's everybody's fight. Now, I take care of the little ones. I'm taking care of y'all babies. I did daycare for over 16 years, and I do part-time now. I tutor kids from grades K through third grade with experience score. So, to make a long story short, everybody should put their mouth where their money is. Or did I reverse that? But anyway, everybody can do something. Now, I can't be out there all the time like I was Friday. I did have Wednesday. I didn't have free time. So, but I can make phone calls, I can send emails or text or however.
Right. That's what attorney was saying. Like if people can't get out there, if y'all can just make phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, Gordon, you were saying that? Attorney Gordon?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
So he going. Well, that's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That goes a long way, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That goes a long way.
I'm starting with, I'm helping out at the lower end, and the babies, I'm training them in the way they should go,
Yeah.
And prayfully, it will be better.
Amen.
Hopefully, it will be better with them.
Well, thank you, Miss Barbara.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Okay, let's go to Dyson. Miss Dyson, how you doing? You live, Miss Dyson. Oh, did I have Miss Dyson? How you doing?
Hi, how are you? This is Shataria Dyson, better known as Lisa Lee.
Oh, Lisa Lee. Oh my goodness, she worked with judges. Let's
how
hear.
y'all doing?
Let's hear what you have to say.
And you didn't give us the story either, Larry, when you were in the courtroom. I want to hear what you all thought, but go ahead.
In the courtroom, my thought?
Miss Lee's on the phone, so.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Lee.
Okay, so, Attorney J. Wendell Gordon, can you answer the question that I have been having about this Corinne Gaines case? Is it true, is it not true, that they went to the leasing office and got a key to go into her house, therefore they had no warrant?
They claimed that they had an arrest warrant, an FTA warrant. An arrest warrant is not a search warrant.
Right.
They went down to the rental office. You need a search warrant to enter someone's house unless you have a reasonable belief that the person you're looking for is inside of the home. So when they knocked on the door, they just continued to knock, and they stood on opposite ends of the door. They called one side of the door the knob side. That's where the doorknob is, and the hinge side. And that's where the hinge of the door is. So when she looked out the peephole, she didn't see anybody because they're on opposite sides of the door, but they kept knocking. So she went and armed herself. And yes, and they did go to the rental office and get a master key. They opened the door, but the chain lock was on the door. And so once they noticed the chain lock was on the door, they kicked it in. And Corinne is sitting down on the floor, and she has her duly owned registered firearm, her shotgun. When they saw her shotgun, they immediately exited out of the door, contacted SWAT, and the standoff ensued. Because in her mind, she was defending her home because from an unlawful entry.
Right, absolutely, as we all have the right to do.
Right, exactly. So that was her mindset. And that's how the standoff ensued the way that it did. But there were multiple times throughout the day, and this was admitted by even some of the police officers, that she was willing to surrender. And that's what's so bad about it, because there were multiple times. She just said, "Put your weapons down, I'll put mine down." And she didn't have her weapon pointed at anybody. She just had it in her arms. And they'll tell you, no, she didn't.
They came in at the wrong way from the jump street.
She just had it, in her arms, but she didn't have it pointed at anybody. Because people say, "Oh, she was pointing her weapons at police." No, she wasn't. There's not a single police officer present, except the ones that kicked in her door, that said that she pointed their weapon at her. So that's what happened. And they had snipers out there at every window. They had about 38 armed officers guarding the perimeter. They had an armored personnel carrier parked outside of her patio. They had the SWAT team outside of her front doors, about 8 of them. All of them were fully clad in the body armor that was certified to withstand shotgun blasts. So none of them felt unsafe. And then when the testimony came in, they all said, "Yo, we felt safe. We felt safe." Everybody said we felt safe.
What was so pressing and imperative that they got her to arrest her? What did she do?
I think Royce Rubin got frustrated because when they turned off the heat and the air conditioning, they first evacuated the building and turned off not the heat. They turned off the air conditioning. This was August 1st. And Ruby had on all that equipment. It's very heavy equipment. I think he said it weighed about 50 to 75 pounds. It's hot in there. And he had just gotten called in, and he had been there all day, and he hadn't eaten anything. He said he ate some saltine crackers. He got frustrated. So he didn't shoot her because he fear.
No, she was saying what did
I'm telling you what the testimony. Well, this is what I believe, because he certainly didn't shoot her because he felt fear for himself, and he said that. He said he felt fear for a gentleman who was on the knob side of the door, but that gentleman said, I was safe. I felt safe, so there was no reason for Ruby to take that shot.
My original question was, what was the warrant? I mean, what was he trying to arrest her for?
Failure to appear of some traffic violations.
That's what I thought. When they had pulled her over on Brembrook and Liberty Road or something like that?
Yep.
And she refused to cooperate with them at that time?
Yep.
She stated her constitutional rights and all that because she had that on live.
Right.
When that happened.
That was the incident. But as a result of that incident, she had a miscarriage because she was pregnant with her third child. And the way that they had handled her that day, she had a miscarriage. So she put that on top of multiple bad experiences just growing up in life, including the lead paint poison, and then you kind of understand where she was. Even had her house burglarized in the past, you know, and that also added to her anxiety.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, so she was a single mother of 2 at that time.
My time is running. My time's clicking.
I know. So I have 3 more things that I want to say.
You can't have 3 more things.
Listen, I just moved back to Maryland, and I was there only for less than a month, and I had a bad experience with a police officer for Baltimore County. And the first thing and this was out on Liberty Road at the Food Lion, and the first thing that crossed my mind, the way this officer handled me, was Corinne Gaines. That's the first thing that crossed my mind. But then I told him, I said, I need to speak to your supervisor. I'm a former federal investigator, and this behavior is not going to be tolerated by this black woman.
Is it driving while black in the county? Was you driving, got pulled over?
No, I had called them for something that had occurred where I was the victim. And he treated the guy like he was the victim.
What color was the guy? Oh, whatever.
The guy was black.
So
the
both
guy
y'all.
was black, but I'm inclined to believe that was a police officer in his regular, off duty in his regular car.
Okay.
The way it was handled.
All right. So can you
so
come back with
I wanted to ask
I don't have time. My time is running.
The other thing, I got 1 minute. The other thing I wanted to ask you.
30 seconds.
Or off the street that you're handling where they Baltimore County mishandled the older woman that's like 67, 70. What's going on with that?
That's all part and parcel of everything else. That's, like I said, we're fighting for the soul and the dignity of black people. That's another case that is unresolved that needs to be resolved and discussed more. And we'll be doing that in the upcoming weeks, because, we're going to lay it all out on the table so people can understand why the leadership that we're receiving is not the type of leadership that we need in Baltimore County.
Thank you, Lisa Lee. Next week.
All right, one more thing.
I don't have time.
Is the guy's name that the lady could not remember, and he was killed by the police officer, and so he's dead.
Yeah, right.
With a white guy
Gotta
that
go.
was holding people hostage.
Lisa! All right, I'm sorry. Reverend Ray, we only got 10 seconds. You can't do nothing in 10 seconds, can you?
No, I just want to, first of all, thank you, Guy, and thank my brother, Jay Wendell Gordon. You are a spark to the civil rights movement, and it's nice for me to be there with you and to work about mobilizing Baltimore City, mainly our preachers and community grassroots organization. I want to say to you, as well as to Senator Larry Young, a warrior and a civil rights leader, as well as to Reverend Al Sharpton, you have renewed Baltimore and Baltimore County with your presence and your fire for 5 years. Thank you for bringing Mother Brenda Career's mother. I call her Rosa Parks.
Thank you. All right, folks. I'm sorry. Thank everybody for joining us. Part 2 next week. Thank you, Lauren. Part 2 next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Peace. See y'all later.
The new 1010 WOLB with talk in the day and sold at night.
Pay for or protect my car. Restrictions may apply. Plans and cost for coverage may vary. Call for details. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 1999 or higher, you could stop paying for car repairs. That's right. You might not have to pay a penny to have it